I'm Mike Smith, developer of TopDownLook. In the previous video I showed you the program's editing features. In this video I'd like to show you the writing aids that it offers. One thing I'd like to make clear from the onset, nothing's required in TopDownLook. You can take what you like and leave the rest. So let's take a look at the features that are available and see which ones apply to you.
In order to save time, I've created a document with just a couple words in it and stored it in a file folder of its own. From this point on, every author that I know goes about writing the story in a completely different way. What TopDownLook does is provide the tools that are needed no matter which way you're going to go about doing it. To invoke TopDownLook, you click here, and then there's editing tools and writing tools. In the previous video I showed you how to use the editing tools from a very top-down kind of look. Sorry for the pun. And here I'm going to show you the writing tools. Now this bar just hangs around and you can minimize it, you can go back to it. But what you do is start by clicking the notes and information. Now it's broken into several different categories. This is general information about the story. This is marketing information that you can store in TopDownLook. This is information about characters and places. You can store images. On this side we have information that relates to not just the story alone, but can relate to all the different stories. For example, I'm going to quick show you this. You can go in and you can get information about how to where to start your story. You'll be able to have the entire book that shows how to use Edit to Publish in chapter by chapter and section by section will appear here, so you don't have to go back and refer to something else. So now let's go and take a look. When most people do when they start is they want to start off with an outline for the story. Now this is not true of everyone, and you don't need to do this, but in order to save time, again, I created a very basic outline. The outline consists of its chapters and sections and so forth. So if you click on the first chapter in this short story, then the information about that is going to appear here. You can move to the second and so forth. Now I can add sections below these. I can take one of these nodes and move it up, move it down. So you get to the point where you've adjusted the story in your own mind through the outliner before you start. Now those of you who are writing novels know that the novel never quite ends up just exactly the way you thought it would when you started. But if you're writing a how-to book, this is something that is required. Once you've got that in mind, the next thing you're going to want to do is take a look at how you're going to make your story unique. If your story isn't unique and it's not fresh, you're not going to find that the people are going to buy it, and you're not going to have that many readers. The way that TopDownLook helps you in that regard is we have templates for each of these things that are important. And so you select a template. I'm going to stretch this out so you can see a little bit better. All the instructions are shown in red, and then areas where you would want to identify how you're going to make your story unique from a character point of view, conflict point of view, and so forth. When you're finished with that, you save it and move on. So the next thing you're going to want to look at is each of those elements. And so let's look at characters. Now we've got two different kind of templates for characters. At this point in time, we're going to be adding more templates as we go along. But let's say that you have a human character that you want to define. Once you define that character, by the way, the names will all appear in here. So for example, if one of my characters' name was Alice, and I wanted to get information about her while I'm writing the story, I would just click on her name up here. But at this point in time, I'm just going to define what Alice looks like. Again, the instructions are in red, and you can see all the different information that you can enter into the system. It's very free form, and you can put it, if you don't want some of this information, you just delete it. If there's something additional you want, you can add it. In addition to the text, you can also add in here pictures, so that you have pictures and illustrations, so that you have something that you can refer to when you want to see in your own mind exactly what you're trying to describe to the reader. Once you've defined the places and so forth, then the next thing that you're going to want to take a look at is, let's say these are all marketing related. Some people will do these at the beginning of process, some of the elements, some of them we'll do them at the end of the process. Let's take a look at marketing plan. Now what we've got is a basic marketing plan template. I've included in here some templates that you can buy from Wireflyer Marketing just to show that we can import templates from other people. But what we're going to start with is a basic marketing template. And again, you've got the instructions and you've got all of the information that you're going to want to fill out to complete your marketing plan. And the thing that's nice about this is as you're going along, you can add to it and add to it and add to it rather than waiting until the very end and then trying to create a marketing plan and rush to the once the book is ready to be published. You can keep track of to-do things, you can keep track of story notes. One of the things that I've included in here is unused text. When I wrote my first book-length story, I sent it off to a publisher to review, and he said he loved the story, but he wanted me to throw the first 30 pages away and tuck them into the story throughout as they were needed. If I'd had top-down look at that point in time, I could have cut the 30 pages off, put them in the unused text, and then gone back and picked what I needed from that as I was going through the book. So again, what we've got here is the ability to surround you with all of the information that you need to have in order to be able to quickly be able to access it as you're writing your story.
So what'd you think? And I honestly mean that. In all my years of developing software, I found that the person that's using the software was the one that had the best ideas about what they needed. Please send me your email suggestions at the address that will appear on the screen in a moment, and thank you in advance for them.